some grown-up people here who are kind of behaving like small, giddy children. I'm one of them. Today, we're joined by the man who helped the Toronto Blue Jays to 2 World Series, the man who's responsible for one of the most iconic plays in sports history. We are joined, quite simply, by the man. We are thrilled to have number 29 on Breakfast Television this morning. Please welcome Joe Carter. Wow, I can't believe it's actually you. I really can't.
I mean, I see myself every day, so I believe it's me. No, first time in Calgary, and we came in last night. Saw a little snow flurries every now and then, but now looking forward to seeing what Calgary is all about here.
A little taste of the Great White North. Now, what brings you here?
I got lost. No, no. I'm here with my buddies and partners from Weber Naturals Vitamin Company, and so I'm here at the Farmer Save convention they're having here. So I flew in from Kansas City, came through Toronto, come here, stay for a couple of days. I've been working with Michael Tate and out of their Vancouver office with vitamin supplements, and everywhere I go, people would talk about, because I have the commercial, glucosamine chondroitin, and the stuff is really good.
You know what? I'm sore today. I'll tell you. We'll have to talk more about glucosamine because I think I probably need some.
No, you're not. You're too young for it.
Oh, please.
Yeah, for the joints.
I know. Being a former professional athlete, how is that on your body? Sort of a little bit down the road.
Well, for me, I really took care of myself. But as you get older, I never really took vitamins. When I played, I basically just went out there and I played. I never had to worry about the steroid, era. And people like, come on, you had to take something. I said, no, I was just happy to put the uniform on. And so, but as you get older now, I'm 53, and as I'm playing golf and walking the golf course, it takes a toll on your body now, all those 16, 20 years of playing professional baseball, your back and your joints. And so now I say, you know what, I need to take some vitamins, kind of keep the metabolism going, things like that.
Yeah.
It's going pretty good, though.
Well, you look great for 53. And it is, it's hard, I think, for those of us, Canadians, we remember that moment 20 years ago. Oh, that moment. How many times have you seen this? I want to know.
Well,
this
let's see. That would be. It was funny. After that home run in '93, and so in '94, my workout regimen was an hour where I worked out every day for an hour in my basement, and I put the live video on from the World Series, and it lasted exactly an hour. And I knew at the end that moment was going to come up, and that would keep me pumped up. But I've probably seen it about 9 gazillion times. And
that's an official estimate.
Yeah, I never get tired of seeing it, because it's only happened twice in the history of baseball, and that's pretty phenomenal.
It's pretty phenomenal,
yeah.
And we all remember where we were at that moment, but where you were was the most special.
That is what people will. The first thing they will say to me when they meet me, they say, "You know what? I was here or doing this at this exact moment," and those are times that you'll always remember. There are certain moments in history where you were, and everyone tells me that. So I've heard some great stories. Best one I heard was the guy said, "I sold my tickets to Game 6. Oh. And he was in the bar. He said, "I sold my tickets to Game 6. I said, "Stupid."
Oh man! Now I want to know what was going through your head. Obviously you're in the zone, whatever that means for you. Faced with that, what was going through your mind?
You know what? A lot of people look at playing the World Series. It's huge, but to me it wasn't pressure. It was something that I lived for. I was very comfortable in that stage and on that stage. And so a lot of people would get nervous. I was kind of, inside of me going, this is great, this is fun. Everybody's watching, they're, pins and needles, and here I am in the bottom of the 9th. I wasn't thinking about a home run, but I was thinking about if I get a base hit, hit the ball in the gap. I got Ricky Henderson on second, Paul Malt on first. We win the ball game. And lo and behold, you come out and hit a home run. For something like that to happen, it's every kid's dream.
Were you always like that?
I was.
Were you you never wrestled with nerves? And
Oh no. And you know what? It's funny. I grew up. My father, at age 9, I worked at my father's gas station in Oklahoma City. Rodeo country down there, just like it is here in Calgary. Yeah. And he had me keeping the books. I was parking cars. So I was kind of very mature. So I had a lot on my shelf. And so, playing sports was that was relaxing for me. And so I wanted to be in the spotlight, and ever since, I think 7th or 8th grade, I wanted to have the basketball in my hand with 3 seconds left in the game, I wanted to be at the plate. I was the quarterback. So no, I liked being in those positions. It was fun because when you come through, people just love you.
Well, they do, we do. What an incredible force of nature you are. I am so excited that we're going to have you for one more segment. We have so many questions to ask you. Joe Carter, more with Joe in just a little bit. Unbelievable. Blue Jays legend Joe Carter. I have to say, you are such a lovely man. I've been just gathering.
Well, thank you. Flattery gets you everywhere,
No,
Tara.
I've been asking you millions of questions. You so graciously answer all of them. And I hate to ask you to repeat yourself, but I did ask you during the break if you've ever been starstruck by anyone who you discovered was a fan of yours, and you said there were two notable people.
Well, two small little icons in the world of sports and entertainment, and one was Michael Jordan.
Small little icon.
And the other was my main guy, Bill Cosby, Dr. Bill Cosby. I got a chance to meet Michael. We were in Cleveland. I was sitting center court and had never met him before. This was, early 80s. And he spins around, does an incredible shot, and he runs by me. He goes, "How you like that, JC?" And I was like, he knows my name. And so a guy I went to school with, Cliff Levingston, takes me in the locker room, and Michael's over in the corner giving all his interviews. And Cliff takes me over there, and I'm nervous. I've been in the big leagues for like 4 or 5 years, and now I'm nervous. And he says, "Money," because they called him Money, because he was money.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, I want you to meet my guy, meet my buddy JC here." He goes, "Oh, I know Joe," and I'm like, I was just starstruck. In fact, I named my son after Michael. I named him Jordan.
Wow.
Yeah. I told Michael that story. I said, "Look, I didn't want to put any pressure on my son and name him Joe Carter Jr.
Right.
I said, so I named him after you." So
no pressure whatsoever. It's amazing to hear you're a fan too, right? Of course.
Yes.
You're, in that way.
I love all sports. I play football, basketball, baseball, everything. So I like to see other athletes compete because I know what it takes to be out there while you're competing, what's going through their mind. Mm-hmm. But to see other people's special moments, I've had a lot of, athletes tell me, Tony Dorsett, loved watching the Dallas Cowboys, but he was watching the World Series with my nephew. And when I hit the home run, he turned to my nephew and said, "Tell your uncle thanks for having him see one of the greatest moments in baseball history." So, we complement one another, and that's what the world of sports is all about.
Talk about that team, the team that took it in '92 and '93, back-to-back World Series. You played a lot of baseball on a lot of different teams. What were the defining characteristics of that particular group of people?
Well, one, we had about 24 leaders, 25 leaders on that ball club. So we didn't have to worry about Cito telling us what to do, how to do it. We policed ourselves. Because when you have your best players, and you're talking about, you had Robbie Alomar, you had Paul Molitor, Dave Stewart, Devon White, John Olerud. We had a pitching staff, and you had Dwayne Ward, the closer, the year before Tom Hickey, Jimmy Key. Those were all guys who came to the ballpark. You never had to worry about, were these guys, were they going to be out late at night? Were they not going to be ready to play? What was going to be their characteristics? Were they ready to play? And they knew that every day they came to the ballpark, they had to bring it because all of us was bringing it. And so it was a fun atmosphere. And we went there and we played. And the biggest thing, we always say that we had a goal in mind. And it wasn't to get to the World Series, because I just didn't want to get there. We wanted to win the World Series, and that was our goal in '92. And to get that monkey off our back in Atlanta, the final out, I'm looking around, and there's 50,000 fans in Atlanta, and I know millions more watching on TV, and I'm looking around going, what am I doing at first base? Because I came up as an outfielder in the biggest game of my career, and to make the last out in the World Series with the ball coming to me, and then the next year, '93, to end it on a home run. We had all-star games. People talk about the all-star games. We had an all-star game every single day we played. That's how good that ball club
incredible.
was. Yes.
Yeah, and those two moments are why you're such an integral part of baseball history and sports history in general. You had some words of advice to the current roster of the Toronto Blue Jays just before the season started.
Yes.
Very high expectations for this team. Things have not come to fruition quite yet. What did you say?
Well, I didn't think it was really fair, the pressure that the outside world was putting on the Blue Jays, the 2013 Blue Jays. Sure, they went out and Anthopoulos made some great deals and brought a lot of excitement that they hadn't seen since 91, 92, 93, 94. And so now there were the expectations. And before the season started, I was getting on my Twitter account, they go, "Oh, Joe, we're watching the 92 World Series. You just caught the last out. Now we're watching the 93 World Series." And so they're leading up to opening day, and everyone has these expectations. Well, you can't win a World Series April 1st.
Right.
And so when you set yourself up that high, the only place to go is down. And so right now they're going through some tough times because I think of the expectations, because when you hear that, sometimes you believe the hype. But I like what Gibby was saying, don't believe the hype. We just play one game at a time. Don't worry about anything else. When it happens, it happens. But don't try to do it all in April. And that's, I think, it's tough. Because when you hear that excitement and 50,000 fans every day like it was when I played there, you cannot help get excited. And so, like I say, the only place to go is down. So now they're down, but they're coming back up. I think they'll be okay once all this pressure wears off and they get back to having everybody there. But they've got a great ball club.
They certainly do.
Yes.
Joe Carter, I wish you could stay literally
Well, we
forever.
can do it today and tomorrow. Yes.
We do
Join us right here on Breakfast Television.
We have a giveaway that we want to reward our viewers with a great prize, an autographed Joe Carter jersey, among other things. I think it looks like we have 2 of these. So to enter, all you have to do, head to breakfasttelevision.ca, click on contest number 29, and
29.
pick another number.
Pick another number?
Yeah.
30.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I want to thank you so much for taking this time to come into Breakfast Television. What an absolute thrill.
Well, it's my pleasure, Tara. I enjoy coming to Calgary, and like I told you earlier, I love the Cowboys and Cowgirls. I got 3 sisters and 2 nieces that ride professionally in the rodeos, so they would love it here in Calgary.
Yes, they should come in July.
In July, okay.
July.
I'll tell them.